He who controls the spice controls the universe.
Today, we're taking a look at the flip side. I'm convinced that there's an insulating air pocket in the center of the Earth. This concept deals with the thermodynamic problem that exists with the notion of a solid, molten core at the center of the Earth. Knowledge is limited to its truth. And you can see that the inside Agartha, if you'd like, based on the folklore that I've heard, you can see is nested within a ring of magma around the equator area of the Earth, and that kind of explains part of the reason why it's so hot there, aside from the sun beating on that part of the Earth, is definitely right in the hot spots of where we experience our magnetosphere. So this convenient north-south pole can only be delivered through constant flowing of this hot magma in a ring formation such as I'm showing here. This might look a little bit confusing, but what's happening here is I have what's called a front clipping plane. So the camera is basically rigged with kind of like a cutting knife, if you will, that's cutting cross sections as we go to and fro. So yeah, again, here's the simulation stopped. You can see that on the outside, business as usual. On the inside, you have kind of like an attenuation or thinning out at the poles of the magma, explaining why things are colder at the poles. Unlike dead hollow planets that have lost their spin, the Earth's is alive, producing fire, earth, air, and water. These elements are everywhere, inside and outside of the Earth. Earth, air, fire, and water. As a child, I always had a problem in believing that the Earth was packed with magma through and through. Earth's water may have originally been formed by chemical reactions deep within the planet's mantle, according to research led by University College Dublin. As you can see by this satellite footage, the Earth is a sphere. So anybody trying to push flat Earth theory, it's a true regression in ideologies, so I hope we're past that. If the entire center of the spherical Earth is just miles and miles of hot magma. No, I'm sorry guys, it just doesn't make sense. Where does all the blistering heat from miles and miles of magma dissipate to? I'd like to propose a third, more feasible theory that lends itself to both logic and reason. Now, knowing that even if you touch the element of a burner, you're going to singe your hand. There is magma under the Earth, but the Earth is not made of magma. Now, that being said, what could it be made of? Here are some experiments done on the Russian space station. The Russian space station is orbiting the Earth currently. Now here you can see that the bubbles within zero-G space eventually coalesce to two master bubbles that basically face off and then coalesce into one giant vacuole of air in the center of a zero-G pocket of water. So that's really interesting. Here you can see electromagnetic forces causing a piece of metal to float. The inner sun is isolated by a pocket of air. Air happens to be an amazing insulator of heat. And here you can see tea leaves float to the top of the waters, much like plate tectonics. This guy here, this is a YouTube video, I'll put the link below. He's reversing polarity right now on what looks like Mercury in a bowl. And this bowl has like a special setup where it's from the inside out, so the bowl part is one of the leads, and as he reverses the polarity you could see that the metal is centripetally flung around in the bowl. This spinning in opposing directions creates a perpetual dynamo driven by the power of the sun's nuclear energy. This energy in turn is processed into planetary motion and other convection type phenomena on the Earth. This energy is processed into the flow of the magma that exists within and under the crust. Why are there gravity spikes pulling satellites and debris in areas of Antarctica? The Earth is not only alive, but it has a magnetic soul. So yes, there is an Agartha. I don't know what's inside. I'm not going to pretend to know whether there's like, low gravity giant beings such as dragons and other things of folklore. But I do know that there's more potential for an inner Earth that has landforms and a big vacuole of air, and possibly a center sun, which attracted all the matter that's around it in the first place. Again, there's a center sun that you can see, and around it is a ring of magma. I'll attach some links from this video below so you can do your own deductive research. If you suddenly have questions, please post them and I'll deal with them as best I can. I'm just starting out, so I'm gonna have a lot of giveaways from my Patreon site. Really cool stuff that are gonna provide experience more than anything. I invite you to break out of your mold and challenge yourself to subscribe to me. Otherwise, if you want to win a free t-shirt, we're going to get into some geeky stuff, but including this real-time free 3D model of the Hollow Earth. So yes, you heard it here. If you're into FBX and you're looking for a 3D model for freeze, subscribe to my Patreon account, because my next post is going to be a free FBX giveaway of the Hollow Earth and all of its textures. This was Dionysius calling you. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to our next session. I love you. Like and subscribe, or I'll quit making videos.